Hi everyone and welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti and we do begin this noon hour with some breaking news. We have just learned that Lori Vallow Daybell was declared not fit for trial. Vallow is the mother of Rexburg kids JJ and Tylee. Their remains were found on her current husband Chad Daybell's property. Now earlier this week the Idaho couple was indicted on murder and conspiracy charges in the deaths of the two kids, as well as Daybell's first wife, Tammy Daybell. Now today's decision that Lori Vallow is not fit for trial actually stems from the previous case, a Fremont County one, on the destruction of evidence charges. Right now, it does not appear that it will impact the new murder charges case, but we're certainly tracking this and continue to update you on this ever-changing long-running case. Meantime, all of this comes as the Chandler Police Department, this is in Chandler, Arizona, announced on Thursday that it submitted a conspiracy to commit first-degree murder charge against Lori Vallow Daybell in the death of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow. So again, we continue to track all these developments and we'll keep you updated right here on KREM 2 News, always on KREM.com, and more tonight as we continue to track these changes. Well, the Spokane Public School Board has finally decided on the name for its 3 new middle schools. They were also considering renaming the On Track Academy. So KREM 2's Morgan Trow telling us about these new names and what they mean.
Spokane Public Schools has officially named the 3 new middle schools, as well as discussing a possible name change for one of their academies. After discussion, the board unanimously voted on the following. The Northeast Middle School will now be the Denny Yasuhara Middle School, named after Japanese civil rights activists who taught at SPS for years. The Northwest Middle School is Pauline Flett Middle School, named after a Spokane tribe elder who preserved the Salish dialect and taught the language to future generations. The South Middle School is now Carla Pepperzak Middle School, after the Dutch resistance operative and Holocaust freedom fighter who moved to Spokane in 2004. And the On Track Academy will remain the same, except they are adding their principal's name. The full name will now be Lisa Madsen On Track Academy.
And coming up, groundbreaking ceremonies are scheduled for next week, and then also Carla Pepperzak's ceremony will happen once the school design is completed. So more to come on those dates and times, and we'll keep you updated. All right, 12:03 right now, taking a live look outside at Lake Coeur d'Alene. We're expecting a bit of a breezy afternoon on this Thursday. You can see the cloud cover out there. Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo is out of the studio today. He is having some fun checking out Silverwood and taking a look at some of the new rides.
We're out at Silverwood today, experiencing some great weather early on this morning, but things are expected to change. But don't worry, by the time we open up Boulder Beach this weekend, it's going to be fantastic. Temperatures are on the rise early on today, and those temps are going to continue to rise ahead of a cold front that starts working its way in, and that is going to take us into the afternoon. So that cold front itself is going to bring up some pretty decent wind. We'll see wind gusts up near 35 miles per hour in Spokane, even stronger out in central Washington, and actually a little bit lighter as you make your way into North Idaho. When it comes to that front, it's associated with the storm out on the west side. We'll get that front sweeping across the state, bringing about that wind, bringing about that change in our weather patterns. So just get ready for that. That will move in. I think the bulk of the activity happens between 1:30 and 2 this afternoon. And that's going to be when we see the best possibility for some of those scattered showers. As quick as it moves in, it moves out. We're talking less than 1/10 of an inch of rain in Spokane. And by the time we get into the afternoon, temps still up in the 70s. But keep in mind, it comes with clouds and wind, so it'll feel a bit cooler. Quick sneak peek at the weekend forecast. Got your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
Jeremy, thank you very much. Well, if you're going to be out, maybe headed to McCall, Idaho this weekend for the long weekend, here's something you need to know before you go. The city is asking visitors to follow guidelines that they are calling the McCall Promise. The initiative is asking people to brake for pedestrians, bikes, and deer, don't stray from popular trails, tip your servers, and drown your campfire. Trying to keep people safe there. Grant County detectives are now asking the public for any information or possibly video footage that might aid in their investigation This is according to a Facebook post from the sheriff's office there. So here's some details. Detectives with the Grant County Sheriff's Office are investigating the death of a man found on a sidewalk in Moses Lake, and they're investigating this as a homicide. A driver saw the body along Airway Drive near Cochran Road in Moses Lake. That was about 4:30 on Wednesday. Deputies arrived at the scene and found that it was indeed the body of a deceased man. So anyone with information about the man's death is asked to call the number that is on your screen right there. Again, Moses Lake, the Sheriff's Department. The fate of an entire city in North Idaho is up in the air as it remains unclear whether Dalton Gardens will have even a single working employee come tomorrow. Animosity between city council members and the mayor created an environment that appears to have been so dysfunctional that longtime staffers have started resigning. Only one employee at last report was left, and she too is planning to step down. City leaders say they may try to offer her a promotion in order to keep her around, but if that fails, there will be nobody to perform the basic functions of the city. City Hall will shut down. The controversy is enough to prompt citizens to start talking about potential recall efforts as a last resort.
The best case scenario would be if they change their tune and leave their politics at the door and maintain their positions as working for the public as civil servants and do the right thing rather than blocking everything they don't agree with, because that doesn't represent any community.
So certainly an evolving story, and we want to keep you up on the details. So all you need to do is text the word Dalton to our text line, 509-448-2000. Again, it's a text line. Just send the word Dalton. We'll send you the article explaining all of it right there on your phone. All right. We do want to give you 3 coronavirus headlines to know this afternoon. First, Washington State University and the University of Idaho have dropped mask mandates for people who are indeed vaccinated. School employees, students, and visitors who provide proof of full vaccination will be allowed to forego face masks and social distancing. The new guidance also applies to other campus locations where local county or city protocols do not require masks. No school employee is permitted, though, to ask students why, or an employee whether or not they are vaccinated. So again, they're trying something there. 2 cats, this is the second piece of information, 2 cats and dogs and a few other mammals can become infected with COVID-19. This is according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Health leaders say animals who became infected did so after coming in close contact with a person who had COVID-19. They also said there is no COVID-19 vaccine for pets, but there are pet-specific coronavirus vaccines that they can get. However, they are unrelated to the COVID-19 situation that we're in now. And the third piece of information, right now, some European and Asian governments are scrambling to develop so-called COVID-19 vaccine passports to help kickstart international travel. They are working on systems that would allow travelers to use mobile phone apps to prove that they have indeed been vaccinated. Last week, the European Union decided to open its borders to fully vaccinated travelers. 12:09 right now. The good news for Gonzaga men's basketball, you likely have heard, it just keeps on rolling in. Yesterday came word that for GU fans, something they've been wanting to hear, Drew Timme is indeed returning. Why his return is such a big deal, not just for the fans, but of course for the team. That's coming up next.